So I'm in downtown Los Angeles for the second weekend of Nisei Week. This is an annual celebration in Little Tokyo. It takes place 2 weekends in August every year, and I'll be going to a bonsai show that has been around for a long, long time. The festival, I think, dates back to like 1934, before the advent of color video. You're looking for somebody, it's not me. All I'm doing a little bit of drinking in public. Anyway, I'm gonna go check these out. Cheers.
So the bonsai exhibit at Nisei Week actually started in 1963. It was started by John Naka, who the show is now named for. I first heard about it from Hugh Hauser.
Now, jumping ahead in time, which we can do, 4 days later, we were back in the same big room in the Japanese American Cultural and Community Center to see another exhibit. This time, it was of miniature trees called bonsai. Now, it's kind of hard to explain, but by trimming the roots and wiring the limbs, and by meticulous pruning, the artist, and that's exactly what they are, over a period of a number of years, are able to craft these amazing examples of living art. It's like a big tree in miniature. I mean, it's exactly like a big tree.
And if you don't think about the pot, by golly, it look like those trees that you see somewhere in a valley or prairie or in a park or somewhere. So that is another thing that we have to concentrate on, not just a man-made artwork, but...
And look, this looks like a little forest right here.
Right. Yeah, this is the forest, and well, you can't help it, this is a, dry creek coming down, and well, I mean, this is what I meant, to capture the nature's beautiful scenery into the small scale, and use the right size of container, and shows the expression.
Now, is it all right for me to pick this up?
Sure.
May I pick it up?
Sure.
How fragile?
No problem. No.
How fragile are these little trees?
They're small, but they're not fragile. They're tough as we are.
Really?
That's right. Only thing is, hot weather like nowadays, why we have to watch water naturally, because just like we are, they get thirsty.
Now, what we saw at both the exhibitions of flower arrangements and bonsai were truly wonderful in our...
So that was then, and this is now. We got all kinds of crazy costumes and local groups and churches and vendors, travel agencies that specialize in sending it to Japan.
Thank you so much. We added deep content.
I'd show you more of that, but there's a lot of copyrighted music they were blasting throughout the whole thing.
$5 for a play. You get
Like guys, like a couple of
For some reason, we kept finding ourselves drawn to the shaved ice booth, and eventually we went ahead and got ourselves some. It was every bit as good as it looked.
That one looks like good.
69.
Nice. That one's ours.
71.
Right, we're number 71. Oh yeah.
See it. Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, I like
So here it is, the main reason that I drove out to LA. This is the John Naka Memorial Bonsai Exhibit at the Japanese American Cultural Center in Los Angeles. It's been named for John Naka for a couple of years now. For the longest time, it was known as the Nanpu Kai show, and I've seen that spelled a couple different ways. I've seen it spelled N-A-N, as in Nancy, P-U-Kai. I've also seen it spelled Nanpu Kai. This was an exhibit that goes back to like the second club, I guess, that John Naka started, which was Nanpu Kai. Bonsai in Southern California was more or less, God, this is a beautiful tree. This is a coast redwood, believe it or not. And it's huge and it is tight. I love it. They're very good accent plants in this show as well. But Naka started the first club in 1950 with 4 friends. It was Frank Nagata, Morihei Furuya, Joseph Yamashiro, and Mrs. Ai Okumura. And they called themselves the Southern California Bonsai Club. And then a few years later, they incorporated the club as a nonprofit and called it California Bonsai Society, which is what it still is today. And then about 9 years later or so, John started the Seinan Southwest Bonsai Club, which was a very select club of people that John considered to be, I guess, like teaching prospects. God, that's another great one. Teaching prospects, and then they renamed that club Nanpu Kai in 1964. It was a very elite, invite-only club. Look at the foliage on this thing. That's a Hinoki Hinoki cypress. Wow. That's a black pomegranate, an accent. My teacher, Manny Martinez, was a member of Nanpu Kai, and he was exhibiting at this show the first time I came down and saw it, which was, I want to say, like 2013 maybe. And here's a very, very good 5-tree tower of Shohin bonsai. There's a Japanese black pine, an olive, I'm not quite sure what the other ones are. There's a juniper. Go back. I think one of them was a pyracantha. One of them maybe was a vine or something. Trident maple. Wow. Wait. Yeah, that's a trident maybe. Thought maybe that was a liquid amber. That's a fun little accent. So is that. California juniper with some fairly remarkable deadwood. Very nice. That's an oak, and I can't remember. I don't remember if they call this California oak, coast live oak. It's an oak of some sort. Well, that might be a cork oak. Fat-bottomed olive. I love the pot there for that accent. I don't know what kind of plant is in there, but it is pot. You gotta focus. Come Come on, focus. Look at that pot. I want to make a pot like that. Focus. There we go. The olive there. That's a fat base. Very nice ramification. Everything's tight. I've been to a lot of bonsai shows. I've never been to like. There's a. Is that a sweet gum or that's a Japanese maple? I've never been to like Kofu 10 or the National or the Cup in Europe, any of these like international shows or nationwide shows, but I've been to a lot of good shows in California. This is quite possibly the best one I've seen. This is a raft, believe it or not. That is a Nana procumbens juniper raft. I don't think I've ever seen a raft that good. Or maybe not a Nana that good either. There's another really nice piece of deadwood on, I can't tell, I think it's California juniper. Well, there's a cork oak. Definitely a cork oak right there. Look at that corked up bark. Wow. I can't remember what this was. I want to say this was a
Bald cypress.
bald cypress, yeah.
Yep, nothing that good. Well, that's from the Safari Park collection. And from the Clark Bonsai Museum in Fresno.
So the exhibitors here were not all individuals. There were actually some trees that were brought down from GSBF collections. Beautiful. That was a blue atlas, I think. There's a gorgeous grafted shimpaku. At least I assume it's grafted. Can't really see the graft marks. And there's a cork elm. Magnificent. I like that little pot. I like that yellow pot too. And the deadwood and the trunk on that thing's awesome. I love that. That's a flower, not a fruit, you know? I think it's a flower. Gorgeous. It's a very fun juniper. A lot of chit chat in the background. Is that yet another cork oak? It's cork, yeah. It looks like another cork oak. Maybe I'm confusing which things are cork oak for cork oak, but I don't think that was one. Another cool pot, little fern. Another very, very nice juniper. Ginkgo biloba. Biloba. That's a tiny little pot there. So, And then I just love the whole, like the base of the trunk of this olive. Like a Baggins should live in there. I think it'd be fun if they hid like a little, I don't know, little mountain lion or something inside there. So I've seen most of what I came to see, but before taking off partway across downtown to go get a beef dip at Cole's, one of the two restaurants that claim to be the originator of the beef dip sandwich, thought I'd come take a look at the Japanese doll exhibit, which was smaller and much faster to work my way through than the bonsai exhibit, but still cool. And then they also had a Japanese ceramics exhibit, which was even smaller. It was just one artist working in a very, very white porcelain. Made some very, very thin cups, a few sculptures, and a bunch of stuff that it was intended to look like tofu. See it here in a second. And that kind of made me hungry, so I was like, well, yeah. Let's pretty much wrap things up. Pun intended. And head across town to check out the beef dips at Cole's. So I think that this is the actual artist right up here that I'm going to show you in a second, and then we'll go ahead and bug out. I wish I could throw stuff like that. There he is, I think. Not sure. Look how thin that is. Guy's got skills.
Okay, so that was Nisei Week's John Naka exhibit this year. I'm now done. That was probably the best exhibit I've seen so far. I mean, I've never been to Kobutan or anything like that, but just in Southern California, that was just awesome. So now I'm at Cole's, which may or may not be here much longer, but it's a downtown fixture. Has been for like 100 years. Now a little beef dip, a little drink, and call it a day. So, cheers. Thank you for watching. Stay cool, everybody.